Hello guys, the October 5th Hindu editorial and two important articles are there. What is Polycrisis and also the Finance Commission, the North versus South debate. Always it comes and I have explained you multiple times, but here again a little bit detailing we'll see on that. And if you want to check whether you are a very serious aspirant or not, you should be able to check whether you are able to solve previous year questions. If that is possible, if you are solving previous year questions, that means your direction is correct. You are studying the right way. For example, today Finance Commission related itself, many questions have come. I have picked just three recent questions which came in 2011, 2015 and 2023. Meaning every time a Finance Commission is set up, they are asking a question. And still if you don't put it in your study syllabus or you don't practice much, that means your preparation strategy itself is wrong. This first question, if you see with reference to Finance Commission, which of the following statement is correct? So it encourages the inflow of foreign capital for infrastructure development. It facilitates the proper distribution of finances among the public sector undertakings. It ensures transparency in financial administration. None of the statements. So this is 2011, where it used to be a little more straightforward, where they are just asking the purpose of it. 2015 when you go, by the time 14th Finance Commission was there, so they asked like which of the following are correct, meaning the actual terms in which that what it proposed, that level they asked. It has increased the share of states in the central divisible pool from 32% to 42%. It has made recommendations concerning sector specific grants. So this and all, if you don't study that year, you will not solve this. This is not static, it is current affairs. Okay. And 2023 they again went one more step ahead, where they asked the terms of reference. There are some factors which they consider while distributing fund from center to the states or among the states, and that is the purpose of Finance Commission. So demographic performance, forest and ecology, governance reforms, stable government, tax and fiscal efforts. So for the horizontal tax devolution, okay, tax devolution means vertical means what? Center giving to state is called vertical. Horizontal means among the states, how much fund you will give from the tax revenue. So in that 15th Finance Commission used how many of the above, okay, instead of asking which of the above, how many above criteria other than population area and income distance. Meaning population area and income distance are three things which is already used as terms of reference. Other than that, how many of these five things are they using? Only two, only three, only four, all the five. This and all correct clarity if you don't have, you cannot solve it. And our test series covered this in detail with pictures, and that same thing I will show you here also today. So this is the type of questions you have to try and see where you are standing. Many people ask like, I studied a lot of days, but still I don't know whether I can clear this attempt or not. Test the previous year questions. If you cannot solve it, that means you are very, very weak in preparation. Okay, because previous year questions will be much more easier than the test series questions. We set very high standards in our test series that it will look more difficult. So keep practicing every day. Today, article wise, if you see, many political articles are there. So politics we won't discuss. Here also it's politics about the BJP and the INDIA alliance. They like not giving interviews to the certain journalist and all. That is not important. Here woman quota. Just because that woman reservation bill came, every people who have no other work are writing article after article. Okay, last day also we discussed, in parliament is the bill, but they are then writing about state assembly. Then somebody wrote about like in police you should have 33% reservation. Now this person is writing from panchayat to the parliament level we need it. So everyone will keep writing their same opinion round and round on the same thing. You don't waste time on the same thing, because you know the bill, you know the what is the present condition of India, why it is not soon implementable, like that basic things you know. More than that, don't read like everyone when they write their opinion. Okay. And then Jammu and Kashmir local news, there again BJP, how it's performing there, and there it's politics again. Here monsoons, we already discussed yesterday that El Nino, La Nina, then the ENSO, Indian Ocean Dipole. These concepts in brief I have told you in yesterday's editorial. October 3rd is editorial. Okay, October 4 is still not out due to some technical reasons. That will come after the October 5. Okay. And then these two articles we'll discuss in detail. One is, as I told, Finance Commission. The South is not happy because it is like injustice to them. I will explain you clearly why it is injustice to them. And carbon accounting. It's like climate change we have discussed multiple times, but this is a very totally new idea, new perspective, and that is where polycrisis concept we'll see. Okay. And then Nobel Prize are being given away this week, like physics, chemistry, biology, and I think next peace and literature will be given. Like that, one by one each day, each award is being announced. So the physics one is given actually for electrons. If you know basic about material, you know molecule is there, atom is there, and in atom itself there will be this proton, neutron and electrons. Like there is an atom, you don't have to study physics and all here, but still a nucleus will be there, and inside that the neutron, proton things will be there, and electrons will be revolving, fast moving electrons are there around it. So it's moving and it is very tiny that it's very difficult to study the electrons, and you need specific tools, meaning you need some radiation beam or fast light or something, so that you can reflect and then learn something from it. Okay, so that tools from the 1980s scientists are trying to find out, and finally these three people, this Anne Hulier, Perry, Agostini and Cross. Okay, these are all in your SSC, PSC exam, they'll ask you the names also. Those people have finally built those tools with which you can study the properties of electrons, and that in there the speed, okay, you know, multiple speeds are there. If you see like in positive and negative, like we know like hecto, deco, kilo, like 1000 is 1 kilo, this and all we know. Same like that in the negative is there, like 10 raised to minus 1, 10 raised to minus 2 and all. That also will have terminology. Okay, like you would have heard up to like nano, 10 raised to minus 9 is like nano. So even below that, pico is there, 10 raised to minus 12. Then femto is there. Up to this and all researchers were doing. But now 10 raised to minus 18, atto is the speed in which that beams they have discovered or the tools they have discovered. So 1 attosecond is equal to 10 raised to power minus 18. That is the reason they have got Nobel Prize. Okay, they have found out a method through this attosecond physics which can deal with the ways to capture the interactions between these small tiny particles, and electrons you can study further. And electrons study, you will think in basic humanity why you need it and all. It is useful in biochemistry, diagnostics, superconductivity. These are all in your anywhere in case this thing comes. These are the need for which it is given. Because Nobel Prize, you should know why it is given. It is given for some invention or discovery which makes a benefit to human mankind. That is a very important clause there. It's not like you discover whatever you want. It should have some benefit to the humanity. So in these areas, it is going to have unlimited possibilities or unknown possibilities, because this much like in attoseconds timeline, which is very like 10 raised to minus 18 of a second and all, what happens or what lives and what dies, we don't know. So with this new technology, we'll be able to find it. So like this, multiple things are there. Like this time biology is given for the mRNA vaccine. COVID time you would have heard. This only is there in October 4th editorial. Okay, it's a little lengthy and complicated. That is why I have kept it on hold, because if I do it in my style, it will become a biotechnology lecture. Because you have, if I have to tell you mRNA, I can tell you the line of news like everybody tells. mRNA news, this thing was there and they got the Nobel Prize. But when I teach you, I have to tell you from starting what is a gene, what is a DNA, what is an RNA, what is an mRNA, how COVID vaccine time it was there, what is the past news. So I tell a little more extra things. So to make it more better, that lecture is kept on hold. I will try to do it soon. Okay, so mRNA is the reason chemistry Nobel Prize was given. Sorry, biology medical Nobel Prize was given, and chemistry also something is there. And then again the other one is also there, the physics and the literature and the peace and economics. This and all you will come to know in the coming days. So don't do much research. This is the basic thing which because it came in editorial, I just told you the basics. And now a mains question, practice question based on the Polycrisis or that carbon related article. So what is Polycrisis? How can the world deal with it with regard to climate change? This can be a 15-marker question where you have to explain the entire thing. Or they will tell you the final thing itself, that national carbon accounting is a poly solution to Polycrisis. Discuss. This is a line actually in today's Hindu. Okay, the concluding line of the article is this one. So end of the article, you will be able to answer this yourself, and you try to answer also. So here, the climate Polycrisis, the name itself, you know, poly means it is like multiple. Okay, like polygon, we tell it's like multiple sided one geometrical figure. So Polycrisis means many crises happening together or as a chain reaction, meaning one leads to the another and multiple crises happening. That is what you see now. Global warming is happening, glacier melting is happening. That glacier melting will cause like today Sikkim flood issue. I already put a video. So there the lake got overflowed. The lake went into the water, river water. The river got overflow. River went and hit a dam. The dam bursted. Then the dam went and because it collapsed, it went and affected the hydroelectric project, and their army men were posted there. They got swept away with the flood. So like that, it is leading one after the other, and because of that now there any other crisis can come, or because of all the heat events and all the agriculture can get affected. Because agriculture get affected, the food nutrition may get affected in people, or the price of this thing can go high. So economics can go high. So one thing is leading to another thing to another thing. This is called crisis at a time, Polycrisis. So for Polycrisis, a term is given by this person, Adam Tooze. Okay, Adam Tooze. So he told about this interconnecting or compounding crisis related to the climate change, and it is affecting the planet in not only one or two sector, in multiple sector and domain, and it will incorporate the physical impact and also the socio-economic and political challenges also of the impact. Okay, physical, you know, the rising temperature, sea level, extreme weather, this is physical. Because of that, as I told, many economical problems, many political problems, many social problems can come. That is the polycrisis. So this is how you can start your answer through a definition. Okay, and then in India, one sees the interconnection between seemingly different sectors like energy, infrastructure, health, migration, food production. This looks maybe little different sectors, but everything is impacted by climate change. So this is a polycrisis. So now we need a holistic approach to deal with it, because it's easy to deal with it when we look only one sector, meaning look only the infrastructure, look only the food, look only that is very easy. But holistically, how can you deal with this crisis is what the author is trying to suggest with a method called national carbon accounting, which we'll see in the upcoming slides. So we need to like we tell digital infrastructure. Now G20, now question came this year, one of the main aspect of G20 is what, and the option was digital infrastructure. So that is where we revolutionized our payments, our startups, our street vendors, everybody is now getting benefit. So one solution and many things are getting solved. Like that author is telling, why not we have a carbon infrastructure, so that we have a proper carbon regime where carbon is measured. The incoming, outgoing carbon is measured from individual, from like me, you, or our building, our apartment, our household, panchayat, district, state, national, international. Like that, every level, if you measure the correct carbon intake and outtake and make a budget, then we can maybe control it. Because to do anything, the first step is always measurement. If you have to solve some problem, first you have to measure it. Unless you know the magnitude of that problem, you cannot solve it. So measurement, if you do, then you can account for it. So measuring carbon from individual citizens to the nation level, with including the flow and the pathway, you can solve this. So we are familiar with the financial balance sheet, like we have this assets, liability, or in your, you also write your daily expense, like how much you put petrol in the bike, how much you ate from outside, mess food, hostel food, how much you give to the gym, or books you purchase. You will have a balance sheet. So you will know this much is my income money, this much is the outgoing money, this much is the reserve money. You have a proper this thing. So like that financial balance sheet, why don't we maintain a carbon balance sheet? Like how much we did through like carbon emissions, how much our vehicle went this much distance, carbon emission, or something else happened, carbon emission. So like that, how we planted a tree and we saved this much carbon, anything that you have to measure at all level. So that system is called National Carbon Accounting System, which this author is proposing. So this will be evolutionary and a revolutionary generalization, and it brings the entire nation, starting from individuals and household, under one carbon accounting framework. So now this will be into both, not only human activity, the non-human activities also, whether it is animals contributing to this thing or whether any other machinery and industry contributing to this thing, everything you have to measure. So imagine a world where like you are filing income tax, like we at like our institute, or we will file how much tax came, how much tax is this thing. This we do every like monthly. We have to do the maybe the indirect GST filing, and the year end we have to do the other income tax filing. So when we do this, we are very clear, and the government is aware like this much is money in circulation, this much money is coming in, this much we can take and distribute to the people. Everything is crystal clear. Same like that, what if we have to file a carbon tax kind of thing every year? We have to file that also. The returns we have to file for not only the income and monetary tax, but the carbon also you have to file side by side. Or maybe if you are not earning anything, but still as a individual, as a student or whatever, you have to file that at least. So like that, if you do, it will be a revolution in public finance, and then we can recognize how much carbon is captured, valued, accounted, taxed for, everything we can do. So we know that public finance is the base of everything. You need money for development. People need it for development. So that is why we give all the details to the government. So same like that, money accounting is an integrated system, all the way from gathering spending of individuals, of the Reserve Bank of India, that helps us keep the track of circulation of the money also. And then that is why money is a visible thing. And because it's visible, public finance method, everything is possible. The budget system we have, every February there is a budget which comes out. But in contrast, the carbon, we are not doing anything. And you know something called progressive and regressive. This in economics you would have studied. Like our GST, you can call it as a tax which is, or in any indirect tax, you can call it like a regressive tax. Okay, meaning if I go and buy anything from the supermarket, it will have a GST of this much percentage. And if a rich person like any like Reliance Group, they go and buy something, that same product from the supermarket, here also will be charged 5% or 8% or whatever is the tax. It's so regressive tax. It is not progressive as per your income. Understanding? Progressive tax is the other one, like income tax, you know, if this much income up to 5 lakh, you pay this much tax, up to 20 lakh, this much tax. So obviously Ambani will pay more tax than me. Understanding? So that is progressive tax, income tax. But the indirect GST tax and other taxes and all is regressive tax. So here they are telling there is no possibility of a progressive carbon tax that penalizes here. Okay, meaning you buy large petrol more than the average consumer and all. So there, such possibility is not there. A progressive carbon tax requires us to keep track of the inflow and outflow and then start at least. So author is suggesting at least we start, then we will see how we can tax different people in different way and all. As of now, we don't have such a method. We cannot think of such a method. Everybody will pay as per how much they emit. Now, carbon accounting is a way for companies to keep track of this carbon, which they are producing, removing, storing and offsetting. It helps company keep carbon books alongside their financial books, which is your usual one. So this NCA or National Carbon Accounting will bring the concept of these books, and so we can measure all the flows, and it will make the circulation of carbon also visible. Same like money circulation is visible, this will also be visible. And then we can, like if some carbon surplus is there or somebody is doing something like better, we can give them some incentive. If somebody is emitting more carbon, then we can put some penalty to them, and that money we can use for helping the other people who are actually saving a lot of carbon. So like that full thing, if we link it, meaning the convertibility between the carbon account and the rupee account, if the government brings out such a policy, we can implement it very nicely. It's not very easy to practically like implement this, but this is what the author is suggesting. So once we have this, we can set targets also, then make predictions, then future how many reduction we can do, because now we are blindly telling that by 2070 we will achieve net zero emissions. Okay, net zero doesn't mean we will not emit anything. Okay, how much ever we emit, this much tons of carbon something we emit, that much itself we will save also. Okay, we will not stop emitting, we will emit, but we will save also. Like that, net zero will make zero by 2070. That is the commitment which India did in the Paris climate agreement, where we have the national this thing is there, contribution, nationally determined contribution, NDC is there, which every country has to tell to the United Nations that we will do as per target. So this is one of our India's like target. So now if we show this as an example, then maybe the globe also can adopt it. So everybody's livelihood will improve, and everybody anyway understands what is GDP growth and all these things. And people are even adapting gross national happiness. Like Bhutan is having gross national happiness. Madhya Pradesh is having something called gross national happiness. So you're measuring happiness of people. If you can do all this thing, then why can't you do the measurement of carbon as well? So in short, NCA is a poly solution to the polycrisis. So for a 10 marker or a 12 marker, 15 marker, how much ever you need to write, that much contents were there. You just have to present it beautifully with some opening line and end line with like this kind of points, like carbon footprint of human activity. You can make transparent, new possibilities, and then ecological sustainability will do, aligning with the development. These kind of catchy words, if you use here and there, your answer will look more UPSC oriented. Okay, so I've given you the points. And that is the first article. Second article is again the Finance Commission, which I showed you these 3 questions. By the end of our discussion, you will be able to solve all these 3. Now itself you could do it, means you are very good in your preparation. You are already much ahead and you will surely clear the upcoming prelims. Okay. But again, if you couldn't do, it's okay, because we will be teaching you like this. So in an Indian federal democracy, federal means there is a center, there is a state, there is a power sharing kind of concept. There, the state population is a very important factor. Okay, because in our Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha and all, how are the seats allocated? The seats are allocated based on Article 81, which I'll show you now, that more your population is there, obviously when you divide, because you need that many MPs or MLA, okay, in a country to go and sit in the Lok Sabha, state-wise these many seats will be allocated. So you have more population, more area, and more people obviously means more MPs you will get. So for a party standing in election, they will look like, okay, from Kerala anyway only 20 seats are there, in Tamil Nadu around 34 seats are there, but in UP there is 80 plus seats, in Bihar there is 50 plus seats. So better we do all our campaigning here and we get this 80 plus 50s, we make it safe, 80 plus 50, 130. Then from West Bengal maybe there are 30-40 seats, so there also we make it safe. Rajasthan, Gujarat we make it safe. So bigger states alone these people will focus, and then they will win the election, because out of the parliament's 550 seats, Lok Sabha's 550 seats, 300 plus if you get, you will win the election comfortably or with a huge majority. How it's like BJP is winning now back two terms. So they will concentrate on these things. So the states like Kerala and states with other and all, if they like none of them vote, meaning all the 20 seats BJP lost, still it doesn't make a difference to BJP. Okay, that is how the seats are allocated, and that is not like any particular thing which BJP introduced now. This is how the whole world works. Everywhere population population based only the seats will be allocated. If you don't have too much population, why you need more MPs there? MPs for taking care of your constituency, right? If you have lesser population, obviously it will be there. But problem is not that. Problem is every state were told you should control your population. And that time, southern states did lot of family planning measures and lot of good things, and they controlled their population. So their population declined in the last 60-70 years. Meanwhile, other states like UP, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and all, their populations increased. Instead of decreasing, it's increased. So just because of that, you give more and more MP to their states because of their mismanagement. That is an injustice done to the states who actually did good things to control the population. So this is debatable, debated since many years. But why is it again coming in this thing? Because the Finance Commission every 5 years it will be set up. The full static thing I will teach you today. So here that is the issue, the population versus the problem versus the north and south. So if Article 81, if you see, they tell that in the House of the People is what? House of the People is the Lok Sabha. So House of the People, others is called the House of the Elders. Okay, House of the People consists of not more than 530 seats from the states and 20 from the Union Territory. So total 550 seats in the Lok Sabha. And for this purpose, how you will allocate the number of seats in the House will be based on the population, meaning the ratio between the number and the population of the state, okay, is as far as practicable and same for all state. Meaning you take the ratio, this many population divided by MP, when you take the ratio of all the states, it should be kind of equal. But the way now population mismatch is happening, it is not getting equal. Many states are getting too much as per the ratio. Okay, so this is the basic. And this one, from 1971 census onwards, the population problem came and they froze the population. Okay, that is the other concept which I will teach you. So here, based on the 1971 census, number of Lok Sabha constituencies for states for the next 25 years was frozen. Okay, because they understood that southern states are controlling the population, northern states are not controlling the population. And just because of that reason, after every census, when you do a process called delimitation, okay, delimitation is the process of dividing that population into constituencies and deciding how many MP, how many MLA. So after every census, they used to do it. After 1971 census, they saw that if you now again consider the new population every time, the southern states will get injustice. So they froze it. For the next 25 years, that is up till 1996, they froze it. Through the 42nd Amendment of 1976, they froze it. Now 2001, again 84th Amendment came and they understood that this population still UP, Bihar and all is not controlling. So we again extended it till the next census after 2026, that is 2031 census. So till 2031 census, we hope that every state will manage their population, everybody would have kind of equal. Then we can do the census and the delimitation, and then we can tell, okay, this many MP. So everybody will be happy. That's why the women's thing also I told you, women's bill is passed now, but it will not get implemented because which place, which woman, how many women MP to be there, that process is called delimitation. That they will not do because it's frozen till 2031. Understanding? So after that only you can do it. But Modi government has told now, like within the 15 years, we will do it. So we'll see. 15 years is equal to that only. By 2030-34, we'll do it. So we'll see how the next census and next delimitation goes by. And also if the government change happens, if Congress comes to power or something, maybe they will bring totally different thing. We can't tell what is their mindset and what is their mentality to implement this. So this is the basics of the history of what happened. Now, as I told that non-speaking Hindi Southern and the Hindi speaking Northern has a variation in population. So now the numbers exactly if you want. Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Gujarat and all, from 44% to 48%, the population has increased. And the southern states, the population has declined from 24.9 to 21.1. Okay, wherever red is there, it's the north, and wherever blue is there, that is the south. And now if 2023's population, if you consider and then try to impose it, southern states will lose again 23 seats in total. In the 5 states, the 23 seats of MPs in the Lok Sabha, they will lose because they control the population too much. North instead will gain 37 seats. So it's totally injustice. Meaning the central parties will not then even do campaigning in the south. They don't need those seats. Understanding? So proportion of the political representation of northern states will increase by 6.8% and southern states will decline by 4.2%. These are the basic 3 stats which you can use whenever this topic comes, like why is south against the new terms of the Finance Commission, and that terms all I will teach you now. Okay. So the problem of balancing the political representation of these units, which has lower population, arise in all the federations, meaning it's not only India's problem. In Canada also this issue happens sometimes. So that time they have understood the problem of the less populous states, less populous provinces, and they have, just one second. Okay, so they have corrected it, okay, by changing the number of MPs and MLAs. So we have this one person, one vote concept. So that is why this has to be taken care seriously. And in our election, what is the system called? It is called first past the post election. So first past the post election means you will see, like, even if you don't get 50% votes, meaning majority did not vote for you, still you can come to power because the first past the post system is there. Meaning, suppose there are 100 people who have to vote for the Prime Minister, okay, to select the Prime Minister. Understanding? And suppose 40 people voted that Modi should be the Prime Minister. 39 people told that Modi should not be the Prime Minister. Now how much is remaining? This is 79, and then remaining again 21 will be there. So this 21 people also told somebody else should be, like 40 told maybe Modi, 39 told maybe Rahul Gandhi, 21 told maybe any dummy person you take, anyone you take. Okay, so like this they told. Who wins the election? First past the post is Modi. Modi wins the election. But actually if you see 39 plus 21, that is 60 people don't want Modi. Understanding? But still Modi wins. So this problem is there in our thing, and that is why another method of election I taught you in one of the lectures. I told you a different approach which is suggested for this, that you go and watch. Okay, so this is the problem in our country. I'm just telling you, okay, what is first past the post, many people may not know. So even if you get less than 1/5 of the registered voter, 1/6 of the registered voter, still you win. So these problems when it exists, and on top of that you are reducing the number of people who can vote against that leader who is there from the south, or anybody who want to reject the present person. If you reduce that existing number of seat also, then how will they believe in the election system? How will they feel like voting, or how will they feel like our tax money and everything will come to us properly? Okay, so here family planning and population control, these people have done, the states who implemented, and it can happen due to family planning or also due to the cultural change, the leaders' inspiration, or many people doing something in the society. Anything can inspire it. Population control in southern state is an example that you have controlled it fully. Okay, and ideally, so they should be given some incentive. They should be given some awards or rewards for that. But instead, you are taking it back. Okay, that time when we frozen, 1971 when you frozen, it was actually a reward for them, because it's like they are waiting for the population to stabilize. But then later it was removed. That also, which finance commission removed it, that also I'll tell you. So once in every 5 years, finance commission is set up. So basic thing is, you should know what is a finance commission. It is a constitutional body that is, as per article 280, it is set up. It is the one who decides how much of the revenue, meaning the tax which the central government collects, how much should be given to the states, how much percentage, and each state should get how much percentage. That is decided by a formula which the finance commission will tell. And that formula, how it is, that also I will teach you. And it is set up by the president. That is actually central government only, but the president is the one who appoints it every 5 years. So it will have 5 members, including the chairman. So 1 chairman and 4 members. Current person is this N.K. Singh, Nand Kishore Singh, and he is the chairman of the 15th Finance Commission, who already recommended his terms and already everything is done for 2021 to 25. Now next person will set up, and he will recommend for the revenue split from 2025 to 30. So the next tax proceed, how it is does that formula is the next slide I will show you. And this money is coming from where? The Consolidated Fund of India. This again read Lakshmikant. Okay, there is a Consolidated Fund of India, there is a public fund, there is a contingency fund. These are basic fund about which UPSC keeps asking question. So not only the tax, but also how much grant to give to different states, that also this finance commission decides, and the center will implement it. So steps required to extend this is also there to the panchayat and municipalities also. When the Consolidated Fund of State is there, same like Consolidated Fund of India. So that also is recommended by whom? By the State Finance Commission. Meaning same like there is a Central Finance Commission, there is a State Finance Commission. Up to center and states, center one will take care. But beyond the state, the local level, there is a State Finance Commission who will recommend the same thing. Now the chairman will be someone who has experience in public affairs, and the other 4 members shall be selected from persons who are qualified or appointed to be as judge of the High Court, special knowledge of finances and accounts of government, experience in financial matters and administration, special knowledge of economics. This are all written in your Lakshmikant. There is a chapter for Finance Commission. But still, as I told, when we do current affairs, I will teach you the static also. Now, how they split it. If you see how much from the center. Obviously, when you collect tax, like BJP or center collects tax, you have to keep some for the center and then give some to the state. So that percentage, if you see, 11th Finance Commission told 29.5% give to the states, remaining with center. The next commission told 30.5% give to state. Next told 32, next told 42, next told 41. Why that 41? Because by that time Jammu and Kashmir was not a state anymore. So it went into center share. So that's why 1% reduction happened. Okay. So now this is the question which I showed you. In front, starting I showed a question that 14th Finance Commission, it increased the state share from 32 to 42%. So that statement is true. So see how questions are asked. They are asking the exact detail of what happened that year. Now 15th Finance Commission is the latest, which is under encasing. They made a very big drastic changes. As I told, the population and all, 1971 population we are considering. But these people considered 2011 population also. Okay, so that we'll see how they used it. So the percentage, each factor which I showed, one question I showed you, demographic, dividend and the tax effort, 5 factors were given, and which are the factors or how many of the factors are used. So that has different weightages. That weightages, if you clearly want to know here, in the 14th Finance Commission, the population, which was 1971 population which we used, that had a weightage of 27.5%. But now we are considering, as I told, 2011 population. So South states will not be happy. So what they did is the weightage they reduced. When only 15% we consider the population. Okay. Instead, the remaining 12.5, the 27.5 is split what it is, 15 plus 12.5, right? 15 plus 12.5. That 12.5 we will do the demographic performance, how your states performed. So South states will be happy because they performed better. So they split it like that. That's the 27. Then area, they kept it same. In both the last time's terms of reference, this time's terms of reference, they kept the same. Forest, or before forest, we'll see income distance. Okay, that is actually the distance of the poorest and richest as a distance formula. So that weightage was 50%. That they reduced to 45%. Okay, so 5% thing happened. No, loss happened. That 5% where did they put? They put 2.5% in the tax effort, how much tax that states is contributing, and then extra the 2.5% they added to the forest and ecology, which was earlier 7.5%. This is how we had taught in our test series, and this reflected in the question paper. Okay, in the question paper they asked which are the extra new things which they added other than population, area and something else. Okay, forest or something. So the answer that time was 2 of the above, tax effort and demographic performance. Now go back and see the question. You will be able to solve this. These detailing, I don't know how many coaching classes are teaching you, terms of reference and all. They might mention here and there, but you should know exactly when 14th to 15th it changed, what changed. Now in 16th Finance Commission, again problems will come, again they will change something. Okay, so this is the proper answer to those questions. Now continuing the Hindu, population I told you it's very important factor and it is considered for the distribution of fund. So the first Finance Commission, they took the population whatever was there that time. Okay, independence time or 1950s, they took that population. The successive Finance Commission kept on reducing the weightage of population, and then in the 8th Finance Commission 1984, they ideally you should use what? They should use the 1981 census, which got over now. But they understood that mismatch in this thing, and that is when they told 1971 census we will consider and we will freeze it. Then 13th Finance Commission came, and then it continued, and 14th Finance Commission, apart from the 1971, they told they will start considering slowly demographic changes, or slowly that idea came. And the rewarding, meaning this was a reward, right? When we froze it, it was a reward to the southern states. But this is the first time when the rewarding was replaced. Okay, and it is rewarding actually who? Rewarding the populous state, the state which has more population, from the 14th Finance Commission. Now the 15th Finance Commission, I told you, they started the 2011 population in the formula, but they reduced the weightage. Southern state lost the advantage of the distribution formula. Southern states already were facing financial transaction reduction, and now they're getting even more. So it's like a kind of, you are punishing them for controlling population. This is one factor. Population is issue. Another factor is the per capita income of the state. So don't think you have more per capita income, you will get more revenue from the center. It's the reverse actually. Your state is performing good means, suppose Kerala is doing very good, their per capita income is very good, you won't get more thing because what is the meaning of per capita income of a state? Meaning your population per revenue, GDP, GSTB, state's GDP. It means that you have the ability to raise your own revenue. You are already a developed state. So why should you have more and more revenue from the center? So higher the per capita income of a state, meaning more developed, mean what? Lower the share you will get from the union tax. Now lower per capita income will be there for some states, suppose. Why it is lower per capita income? Because their population may be high. When more people are there, when you divide your GDP to the population, the per capita income will be reduced for UP and all maybe. So when they reduce, you are getting more from that union now. So indirectly it becomes what? The higher the population of the state, the higher is the share of the union tax revenue. So population is one factor, and that per capita income, which will come in that income distance thing, in that weightage which you saw 45% weightage is there. So either way, advantage is going to the northern states in the distribution formula. So hope you understood this fully, because after this topic comes, I will not explain. This is a pure economics concept from which question is coming every year. Okay, or every 3 years or 4 years when Finance Commission is set up. So now the combined share of the 5 southern states in the tax revenue, it is declined from 21% to 15.8%. This you can add to the other 3 points which I told you in the starting. And then the combined thing of other states where population is high, it increased from 51% to 53%. I mean the share revenue, the horizontal devolution which center is giving to state, these people are getting more. So using the current population, this problem will continue, and so we have to bring some transparent method and something so that the higher population states are not getting advantage. The southern states or everyone should get equal advantage. This is the complete thing, and Shashi Tharoor also has written multiple articles on this. So if you want to study that exact MCQs and all from my test series and make sure that you clear the exam, please enroll to the 2024 batch 3. Only 222 days are left. If you study sincerely our MCQs, you will be able to solve many of the questions, and you need only 100 plus marks. That is 50 questions you need to solve. Not even 100 plus, I think the cutoff is now 80s and 90s. So 45 questions you need to solve. That will be easily solvable from my test series. So same thing, if you want to study for the 2025 attempt, there is a 575 day timetable plan also. That also is the same thing. Same test series, but in a wider, broad timetable that you can lavishly study, because your attempt is not this year, it is attempt is 2025. So either way, come and join, or come and join the current affairs, where these kind of things happen in news item, that will be covered in the current affairs. Okay, so here, this is the number. Please come and message me. And then tell me in comment section about the editorials and all. October 4 editorial I will do as a next episode. Maybe tomorrow with the 6th October I will merge it, or I'll do it, okay? Because I told you biotechnology is there. I want to give you the best video. That is why it is delaying. Okay, so I wind up this video. Tell your comments. Thank you and have a nice day.